Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the IMCO CoBand K4. If you guys remember, IMCO brought out the CoWatch a few months ago, and it was the world's first Amazon Alexa supported smartwatch, which sells for around $200 on Amazon. It's not bad, and it's a pretty good smartwatch for the value, and it's also very unique in the way that you can control and purchase your Amazon products directly using the watch. So here we have the CoBand K4, which claims to be one of the least expensive fitness trackers on the market that also offers continuous heart rate tracking, and it sells for sub $30, and you get a number of different colors to select from yellow to black, blue, pink, white, and the list goes on and on. It features a 0.86-inch OLED display, and once you charge it up, it will last you for about 6 days before you need to recharge it again, depending on how often you use that heart rate monitoring feature using the app. It works with both iOS and Android devices. The packaging here is pretty petite. We have just the tracker on the inside, which we'll take a closer look at in a second. Very compact for something that offers that heart rate tracking on the other side, as you can see there. Below here, in terms of accessories, we have the band, in addition to a quick start guide from IMCO. Tells you how to set it up, how to pair it, and download the app for your iOS or Android device. It does offer an accelerometer, so you can twist your wrist in a motion to activate the clock so that you can see it and cycle through the various modes, such as activating notifications, looking at the time, sedentary, which means that there's going to be a vibration after 30 minutes to remind you to get up and move if you've been sitting down for too long. You can also kind of change the orientation of the display and set up more settings through the app. So here we have the charging cable, which is proprietary, but it's a flat ribbon wire design that syncs into any power bank or into any computer with ease. There's a small contact pins located on the inside of this cable, which you use to snap the base with the OLED screen into for charging. It takes up to 2 hours to completely charge, which is pretty quick, and the cable is nice and easy to take with you. So if we pop this into the central band, I'll also show you guys what the black version of this looks like. You can get these customized in a pretty nice array of schemes for different occasions and maybe to calibrate with different outfits. So here's what the black band looks like. So this gives you a more traditional color, whereas the yellow one seems to be pretty vibrant and different from other fitness bands I've seen in the same price range. So here we have the display, which is also made out of this kind of plastic material. You can see that it does attract a fair amount of fingerprints, but it remains fairly readable under sunlight because of its OLED nature. There's also a simple capacitive key that you tap on to cycle through the various features, such as steps, in addition to heart rate, in addition to your daily goal, calories burned, distance, and of course the sedentary and other settings. So below here I have access to the heart rate sensor, which just rests onto your wrist and it touches, makes contact. This is a sweat-proof as well as a waterproof tracker. I wouldn't go diving with it, but if you take it for a shower, if you take it to the gym, you run outside and it's raining, it should still survive because all the ports are covered up pretty well. And you can see that everything comes in contact and it's very comfortable to wear. It's not overly bulky for something with this extra sensor. The band itself is a one-size-fit-all. It's a standard band that is made out of the soft rubber material and pretty easy to snap in and out just because the strap here is really nicely designed. No problems at all. It feels comfortable. It's not too stiff and not too strong. Alright, so the app is just called IMCO, and it's basically compatible with every single product the company makes, whether it's the K4 or the K3 previous fitness trackers and even the CoWatch. You just simply pair it, and you can check your connection status on the top here. You can see that right now we're connected to the K4. Battery information, syncing your data, sedentary information can be turned on or off, and also notifications. So if you can get a new call, the band will vibrate, so I can turn that function on. Same thing with SMS text messages. I can push notifications over to the band, and also can change settings for the heart rate tracking 24 or 12-hour format using automatic time through the phone, and once it's connected using Bluetooth, it's going to automatically sync and push that data over to the watch. Finally, there's also what's called a lose warning. It's basically just an anti-loss alarm. So if the connection using Bluetooth between the phone and the tracker has been severed, it's going to vibrate to tell you to probably look for your phone, and vice versa. You can use the tracker to locate your phone. So you will probably get a better idea of where your device is at all times. I can also change the name of the device and take a look at its settings and firmware and stuff like that. So let's go back into the main menu. In this main screen, we have access to just my daily steps, distance, calories burned, and goal that I can set and program. And down below here, we have access to some additional weight and target that I can set as my goal. I can also take a look at my sleep data, so that's going to show me my light and deep sleep in a graph, and it turns on automatically. It detects that using your motion tracking sensing. So if it realizes that you've been moving around too much, it thinks that you aren't sleeping. And there's also the amount of sleep that you've gotten labeled down below here in terms of deep, light, and awake. Next, we have access to the heart rate tracking, which is giving you an idea of the continuous heart rate data that you can activate by tapping on measure. So if I tap on that once, you can see instantly it start to glow and try to measure your heart rate. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds to completely measure a heart rate, so it's not super swift, but it is quite accurate compared to other low-cost trackers we've seen in the same price bracket. As you can see, there isn't any wrist detected, so it shows 0 beats per minute, which is, again, pretty accurate to look at. And I can look at trends as well to see if there's any data that's really shocking or surprising, and maybe go to a practitioner or check out a doctor if something is going awry. So that's a nice feature they put in. Other things, weight measurement that you can input manually through the app. So pretty easy to use. Settings on the very top here as well that I can tap on once to activate, my profile name and to send my goals maybe to social media, to message my friends as well. So fairly well put together app. With that being said, there's a lot of misprints and things I believe that were translated over from Chinese. So not everything is absolutely completely understandable at a glimpse. So it does take a few seconds for you to kind of take a closer look at some functions to try and note what they really do. But the interface itself, as far as the visuals are concerned, are pretty colorful and easy to use. Otherwise, it's not the most complicated app in the world, so it's not the most powerful tracker in terms of giving you all your data, and it's not intelligent in the way that it's going to tell you, certain trends are poor according to your specific history. With that being said, it is simple to use, and for first-time users that just want to pick up something simple, something quick, they probably will find this to be a pretty good purchase. So taking a closer look at the menu of the watch itself, I can tap on it once to take a look at the main menu. Again, the orientation of the screen can be flipped, but right now you can see the OLED screen takes up a good portion of the display. It's pretty bright and vibrant and visible at various angles. Steps, in addition to distance walked, calories burned, and heart rate tracking, can be measured directly on the unit itself. And there's also connection status, battery status, and time and date status that can be located on the watch. Long holding the capacitive key allows you to turn the watch on or off if you want to conserve battery power. And in our testing, again, we got roughly 5 days of usage before we needed to recharge it again. So battery life is definitely excellent. It looks pretty sleek, it looks elegant, it looks futuristic, and it's pretty comfortable and easy to wear. If there's any con, I would say that having to remove this from the silicone band every single time to charge might, make the band a little bit looser and wear it down over time. So maybe in the future they could figure out a way just to clamp the contact pins on the back so that you don't have to remove it and pop it back in each time. But that's one of the only quirks that we found from the design and the hardware perspective. Everything else very nicely thought out and works as you would expect. As far as the low-cost fitness tracker is concerned, again, it is pretty accurate. If you try shaking this thing around, it's not going to accidentally trigger it as a step. It will actually have to really move to measure a real step. So it is pretty accurate as far as the sensors on board. Same thing with heart rate tracking. It seems to have a leg up in terms of accuracy compared to other low-cost trackers under 40 bucks that you can find on Amazon. So that's nice to note. Overall, it's fun, it's colorful, it doesn't offer the most advanced features in the world, but it tries to simplify things into a lower price range that's affordable and accessible to much more people. You can check out additional information about the CoBand K4 in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.